Record button. All right, so TGIF, everybody. Thank goodness it's Friday, and we all had to break the sweaters out for this weekend. Thanks for joining us today. I am Amy Loudermilk, the programs manager for Arts Build. Happy to be here today with our president, James McKissick, as well as Emily Mack and Donna Harrison. So before we get started, just a couple of things from Arts Build. We've got a lot going on right now, program-wise. Just wanted to remind everybody that Arts Build is accepting nominations now for the 2022 Ruth Holmberg Arts Leadership Award. As usual, Arts Build will honor 2 individual recipients this year. Well, we started doing that last year, but we encourage nominations for anyone who exemplifies Arts Build's mission to build a stronger community through the arts, as demonstrated by their significant contributions to the arts and leadership in the community. So please consider nominating someone and spread the word. We'll take nominations through March 31st. And you can find this link to the nomination form on our website, but I'm going to go ahead and plop that in the chat. If I can find it, I've got so many buttons here. There we go. Okay. We also have an art competition that we're accepting submissions for. It's art from our Hamilton County high school art students. So if you have a high school art student in your home or know someone, please encourage them to submit. We have wallpapered the county schools with information about this, and our art teachers know about it as well. But if you've got any questions about it or want to refer someone to us, just shoot me an email, putting that in the chat too, amy@artsbuild.com. We're also starting up our Tech Goes Home for the Arts program. We are currently recruiting for that, and the program will start on March 28th and run through April 1st. We'll meet every evening that week from 5:30 to 8:30. And then lastly, don't forget about our shared services workshop. It's a virtual workshop that will take place next Wednesday morning at 10:30 with Colleen Miller, and we'll discuss social media needs for our arts and culture organizations. So with that, I would like to introduce Miss Emily Mack of the River City Company, who is here today to talk to us about this fabulous new installation on the riverfront. If you've not already been down there, go check out those light up seesaws. They're especially fun at night when they're lit up. But Miss Emily, without further ado, I will hand things over to you.
Thank you so much, Amy. I really appreciate it. And good morning, everyone. As Amy said, my name is Emily Mack, and I'm with River City Company. I'm sure many of you are familiar with River City, but just in case, as just a little bit of a friendly reminder, we're a private 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to reinvesting in, redeveloping, and revitalizing downtown Chattanooga. While we certainly believe that downtown is the economic engine for our city and our region, we also believe downtown is the social and cultural heart of our community. And so River City's work day in and day out is dedicated to create an economically thriving and a socially and culturally vibrant city for all of our residents and our visitors to live, work, play in, and certainly love. So I'm going to share my screen, and I wanted to share with you about Rock the Riverfront, which is a month-long event in downtown Chattanooga, featuring a temporary interactive art installation called Impulse. So I'm going to ask, hey, Donna, I'm assuming you can see my screen. Can you nod your head? Okay, perfect. Thanks. Just want to make sure. Oops, I'm so sorry. Pardon me. So what is Rock the Riverfront? And it's really all about creating community and bringing people together. So the idea of Rock the Riverfront, it is a response to our One Riverfront plan, where over 2,300 Chattanooga residents shared their hopes and their dreams and desires for our riverfront district. I remember we were having some community conversations, and a woman said to me that the riverfront, it is the heart of our community, but it's no longer the heart of activity. And so the spirit of Rock the Riverfront, it's about energizing and enlivening and transforming a public space and bringing together every single one of our residents with a free month-long event. So using Impulse as the anchor, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about Impulse in just a moment. The Chattanooga Green will be filled with artists and musicians and performers and vendors and various family-friendly events and activities for the entire month of March. So Rock the Riverfront, it starts with Impulse, and Impulse is the temporary interactive art installation. That's the light up seesaws. So Impulse, it has been in 4 continents, 11 different countries. Actually, I think it's 12 now because they just literally, it just came from Vienna, and 55 different cities throughout the world. It's only been in the Southeast once before, in Charlotte, but Chattanooga is the smallest city in the world that Impulse has ever been in. So Impulse is brought to us by a company named Creos. They're out of Montreal, Canada, and they specialize in the convergence of interactive art and human connection and innovative public spaces. And so by using art, they help transform spaces from ordinary into extraordinary. So Impulse, and I hope that you all take the opportunity to go down to the riverfront, but Impulse is a series of 15 giant illuminated seesaws that are located on the Chattanooga Green. And if you go down there and you see them, if there's no one on them, they're just stationary and they're dark, they don't do anything. But then when you get on them and you start moving, they light up, and you'll also hear them make sound. And it's really about using repetitive units of light and sound that play off of each other to really create this ever-changing experience. So it's just, it's really amazing. You can have up to 4 people on a seesaw. I also will say they're massive, they're huge. When they were delivering them, I was watching them install it. It takes 8 men to carry one of those giant seesaws. So they're not going anywhere. They're pretty big and heavy. So for the month of March, again, this installation, it goes from the beginning of March. It kicked off last week and it will go until April the 3rd. It is open every single day from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The goal is also to have activities and programming throughout the entire month. I will say Mondays and Tuesdays, they're intentionally designed to be a little bit quieter. And then starting on Wednesday, it kind of ramps up throughout the entire week with lots of activities on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. You'll see on the schedule of events, I've listed some things that are coming up. So there are activities this weekend. We did change things around just a little bit because I think Mother Nature she's going to have some feelings tomorrow, and we're really cognizant of that. And we have certainly accounted for that throughout the month. So, but I really do hope that you come down and take advantage of what is on the Chattanooga Green. We've really tried to be very, very intentional about activities and programming and thinking about every single resident in our Chattanooga community, from young to old, so that for every single person, that there is something for them throughout the entire month. And so that's been a major focus of ours. And so, of course, if you have any questions, please let me know. But there's bands, there's concerts, there's DJs, there's buskers, there's giant adult games. You'll see that we've moved Get Fit with Greg. That will be the following weekend. We also have some things and bands coming in for St. Patrick's Day, celebrations for the spring equinox. We are so fortunate, I'm so excited that our friends at Rise Chattanooga are really celebrating women in music history. And so they are, Shane and his team are bringing in some really, really great musicians. And then that last weekend in April, the Eastern Band of the Cherokee are coming in, and they're having a market and storytelling and some other activities and events. But again, there will be something going on throughout the entire month of March. So I've talked about a lot of the really kind of, I would say, more exciting, like the really public things that people see. But I think that there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, that this interactive art and all of the vendors and the musicians and the artists and programming in this space, it also has an incredible impact on downtown. And so one of that is just the traffic increase, right? All the foot traffic downtown. We have conservatively estimated throughout the month of March about 20 to 25,000 people. And I'm confident that we're going to be able to definitely achieve that, maybe really substantially so. Last weekend alone, we had about 8,000 people down on the Chattanooga Green over the course of 3 days, which is just absolutely unbelievable. We've heard from so many people, but there was one woman in particular. She actually randomly sent an email and she said, "This is Chattanooga at its best. This is what I love about our city." And so we're really excited about that. So you can see what other cities, which are some of those are obviously substantially larger than Chattanooga, the number of visitors that they had over the month. Again, our goal is between 20 and 25,000 people, and I think we are easily going to be able to achieve that. The other thing is that we don't always talk about, but it is also the economic impact that this can have on our downtown. And so while it is absolutely wonderful, right, everybody coming together and being on the seesaws and listening to music, people are also hanging around downtown. And so they're going to other area attractions, they're eating, they're shopping, and that's what we love. Last Saturday, I was walking around pretty extensively, just going kind of street by street, and every single restaurant was completely and totally packed, and there were lines out the door. And that's a remarkable thing, especially as we transition into this new normal, right? Coming out of COVID. And so for so many of our businesses were so impacted by COVID. Now they're kind of bursting at the seams. And so this is a way to also give back to them. I'm really happy to also say that first weekend, within 3 days, our artist vendors, they made over $30,000 just in one weekend. So that's an incredible way to invest in our arts community as well. So we're really excited about that very positive economic impact. So I know Donna is gonna talk and share in just a moment. I'm happy to open it up and answer questions. I was trying to keep this short and sweet and be very respectful of your time. I did also want to just give an incredible shout out to our Chattanooga community. There are so many groups and organizations and companies that have helped sponsor this and have made this possible. I have never seen this amount of organizations and companies come together for this type of event. And so it's just been really remarkable, everyone working together. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of our sponsors. Of course, if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take those now and answer those. I also put my contact information and Dawn Jelseth on our team, her direct contact information. If you guys have any questions that come up over time, that Dawn and I can certainly be a resource for you as well. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I will open it up for any questions.
Hello, Emily.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Greg. Sorry, in the office. I was just wondering, were there times listed for those events? Because I saw like Call Me Spencer's playing tomorrow, and then the workout with the other Greg on next Saturday.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'm going to drop the link to the website in there. And so all the details are in there and the specific time frames are in there for you. So let me drop that in the chat.
Yeah, my shirt causes issues with Zoom because it's striped. So that's why I have the camera off.
Totally understand. But yeah, great question.
Sure.
So I can't remember now off the top of my head because we shifted Greg because again, the weather tomorrow is not going to be super great. But I will drop that in the chat so that you have the exact times.
Other questions for Miss Emily?
Yes, I have one question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Manny.
Yes, so I have been talking with Marcus. We had an event series back in 2020 called the Juke Joints, which were urban Black festivals in Coolidge Park, thanks to our sponsor, Stone Cup. And we were looking at, I'm finishing up the project itself for Marcus, and it's about being able to use a small parking lot on the riverfront to do the juke joints. And I just want to know, do I just keep going through Marcus, or is there another resource that I should also be sharing our project with as we're trying to get it ready for the Juneteenth?
Working with Marcus is great, but if Dawn or I could be a resource, let me know. Do you know specifically who owns the parking lot?
So it is through, thanks to our partnership with CARTA, we were able to find that Chattanooga Parking Authority. So they just needed basically the project signed off and approved, and then that's everything. And I just wanted to know what resources were available for marketing or any of that, as it's a small 1,000 person event that goes all day and is just.
So definitely connect with Marcus. He is an amazing resource for you. And I think I know specifically which parking lot you're talking about. And so it's either owned by the CDRC or River City Company. I know I won't go into all the details, but we can help
It
you.
is CDRC.
Is it CDRC? Okay. We can help you. We don't own that, obviously, but we can help you navigate that process to get permission from them to utilize that for that day-long event. And then, of course, River City Company, we're happy to help lift up that event and help you with marketing in a variety of ways. So again, Marcus and Dawn are amazing resources for you, and just please let us know how we can help you and help be supportive of that event.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the end of my question.
Thanks, Manny.
Well, again, if anybody has any questions or anything comes to mind, please let us know. I'll drop the link in the chat, and it's been amazing sharing with you today. So thank you so much. I hope to see you all out on the giant seesaws. It's super fun, and thank you.
Thank you, Miss Emily. I just want to reiterate what Emily was saying about visiting the riverfront, and that leads us into our great lady of the Chattanooga Tourism Company, Miss Donna Harrison. Donna is the Cultural Tourism Director, and I'm missing the second part. There's an "and" to your title, Donna. Help me out.
Inclusive Marketing Director.
There we go. There we go. There we go. I've got the Friday brain right now. So thank you for jumping in there. So the Chattanooga Tourism Company launched a cultural tourism advancement grant back, I believe it was in June of last year. Is that correct?
Yes, that was our first round.
Okay, so Donna's here to talk to us about that and get you guys some information about the opening up of the grant and how you can apply. So Miss Donna, I will hand it over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Amy. And of course, everybody, thank you for having us today. And I don't want to say I can't do this alone. Anytime you see me, you're probably going to see Allison. And anytime you see Allison, you're going to see me. She is my dynamic teammate and partner. People say in crime, we say partner in tourism. So good morning, everyone. So Allison, tell everybody what you do before we get started as well.
Yeah, thank you, Donna. Thanks, Amy, for having us. I'm Allison Wolf. I am the Director of Brand Experience for Chattanooga Tourism. So I get to work on a lot of fun projects to make visitors' experiences in Chattanooga even better.
All right, thank you. Can everybody see our screen? Thumbs up if you can. Is that yes?
Yeah, fabulous use of Canva. Nice.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, again, I am the Director of Cultural Tourism. So Chattanooga is known as an outdoor city, but people come here for the arts and culture. So when you think about my position, there are several different things that might come to mind. You think of the Tennessee Aquarium, you think of live music in downtown Chattanooga. You might think about a cultural experience at the Chattanooga Zoo. There might be an opportunity for you to have a great eclectic night at a cool restaurant on the outskirts of Hamilton County, but still in Hamilton County. So we're not just downtown focused, we are community and culture focused, and our primary goal is to bring in visitors. So Amy mentioned it a little bit earlier about our Cultural Tourism Advancement Grant, and that is what we're here to speak about today. Last year in June, we were committed to $292,000. This year, we are committed to $600,000, and we are ready to hear more about great ideas that we can actually invest in. And one of those things, I want to say again, thank you to Emily Mack for sharing her presentation, but we were excited to be a partner with those amazing seesaws and Impulse. And that was one of the things that how we supported her in that it was through our grant program. All right, next slide, here we go.
So Donna told you about what we do. We are the destination marketing organization for this area. You may have known us from our previous name, the Visitors Bureau, but we're so much more than just that. We are Chattanooga Tourism Co. And our mission is to promote and develop visitor experiences. We're really looking at this as bringing visitors in makes a really big impact on our community. You go to the next slide. On an average day, every day, our visitors are spending about $4 million here in Chattanooga at Chattanooga businesses. This adds up, I think, to about a total of like 1.7 billion a year. So this is a really big impact to our community. And we are really focused on bringing those visitors here and making sure that their experience here are the best that they can be.
All right, so that is me, I think. Is that me, Allison?
It is you.
So a lot of people want to know, why are we doing this grant? Allison mentioned a lot about how visitors are coming to Chattanooga, but the more visitors come to our city, the more we have socio-economic impact for the city. I know that sounds, everybody says, oh, we hear that a lot and we know what that means. But when you think about an individual bartender that's in downtown Chattanooga and people come to the city and say, hey, where's a local festival? Where's a cool restaurant that we can go to? Where's another experience that we can be a part of? Tell us about these seesaws. Those bartenders that are receiving that pay and that tip are the ones that we impact every single day when it comes to tourists. So think about when you travel, who you speak to, and how you're helping that economy once you visit. So we're doing the grant because our goal is to strengthen the visitor experience, to drive visitor demand and increase brand awareness. People love Chattanooga, but like I said, they want to come here for those cultural events. They want to come here for a different experience. And we want you all to create some amazing events, festivals to bring more visitors here and also to increase brand awareness for our organization and our beautiful city. So a part of this grant, how can you apply and what can you apply for? There are two things. One is marketing and one is an actual product. And we're going to do a breakdown in that later on in our presentation, and Allison will talk about that. So a lot of people want to know, how do you apply for this grant? We also have a recorded full info session that is on our website at visitchattanooga.com/partners/CTA grant. And it's simply easy. It's really easy. You can see the guidelines for allowable expenses and examples of competitive project requests. Now, this is something we want everybody to walk away with, because there is a cap of $50,000, but 10% is the operating budget, is the maximum amount you can ask. So if your business or nonprofit brings in $250,000 a year, your top ask will be $25,000. If you actually have $100,000, you can still only ask for your top ask, which is still $50,000. And also, projects must take place in Hamilton County. We want the dollars to be spent right here in Hamilton County. And that's why we have this Cultural Tourism Advancement Grant, which is for our community. So who can apply for this? This is where the creativity comes in. Partner nonprofits and businesses who are creating or growing. We have heard some amazing ideas over the last 2 weeks. The grant opened on February 17th. It closes on March the 24th. So if you are an attraction, if you are thinking about a cool idea, I heard Manny mention a festival. My ears perked up. I saw Allison's ears perk up too. So when we think about festivals, we want your creative ideas, and we would love for you to be able to apply for this grant. And if you actually need help applying for the grant and have questions, that's what Allison, myself, and our colleague Eugene are here for. We also, if you have an event that you want to plan or a program that you want to do to attract visitors. I often hear people say, hey, I want to go do something in the schools to talk about art. That does not necessarily attract visitors. But if you can build your case to do so, our goal is to make sure you all are creating enhanced experiences for more visitors to come to Chattanooga and be a part of it. Also, a cool product. A cool product was a great example of what Emily Mack just mentioned, those impulse seesaws. You know, at first we saw seesaws, we were like, oh, this is cute. But when I was at the riverfront this past Friday and Saturday, I was riding and I was like, whoa, this is cool. So those are experiences we want our visitors to tap into, something new. If you've applied for the grant last year, we want a new experience this year. You can't apply for the same thing, and this grant is not to support something that wouldn't happen without us. It must be able to demonstrate the ability to produce the activity, event, or product development without depending on financial assistance from this grant. So I wanted to share that with you. All right, Allison.
Yeah, so Donna mentioned there's two types of grants that you can apply for. The first one is marketing, and I'm going to give you some examples of what we're looking for on that. The other one is product. So for marketing, what we are looking for is out of area marketing. So you are going to be marketing to people outside of Chattanooga to come here to either attend your event, attend your attraction, whatever that looks like. We look at out of area is 70 miles away from Chattanooga or away from Hamilton County. If they are coming from 70 miles, they are more likely to stay the night. So that qualifies them as a visitor. So when you're thinking about your marketing, think about that range out of 70 miles. So that hits a lot of nearby places. Atlanta, Nashville, Knoxville, all of these drive markets would be included in out of area marketing. So what we are looking for on this, you guys know your event, you know your organization the best. You probably have ideas of what marketing works for you, and we want to hear what that is. What do you want to do? What we do want is to be able to measure how well this marketing worked. So anything that you can collect geographic data from your attendees is really, really important to us. Billboards are great, but they're kind of hard to measure the effectiveness of them, right? So we are really looking for marketing campaigns that you can measure, and you can talk about what that impact is. So if you have your own ideas of what you want to do, that's fantastic. If you are saying, I want to do marketing, but I don't really know where to start, or I want to do digital marketing, we have a really great program in-house that you could work with us on. And that is our co-op program. Donna, if you could go to the next slide.
Yes.
Thank you. So our co-op program, what's really great about the co-op program is we match everything you spend in that program 1-to-1 up to $10,000. So if you apply for the marketing grant to be in the co-op program, we're actually going to then match those dollars as well. So it's like getting double for your money, which is really great. So the co-op program is digital marketing campaigns that we run seasonally. We help you with the creative. We have a really great agency that gives a spec doc with all the information. And if you could go on to the next slide, I'll show you some examples. So at the lowest level, it's $1,000 and you get 2 Facebook and Instagram ads. As you go up in levels, you can add on digital display ads, video pre-roll. But what's really great, if you see all the way on the right over here, is we have a co-op report that talks about your impressions, your clicks, everything. It helps us measure that and see how well that these things performed. If you want to do co-op or you're interested in what that could look like, please let me know. I'm happy to send you more information. Amy, I can send you our co-op documents so people can see the different tiers and what would work best for them. All right, so those are marketing grants. You can apply for any type of marketing or you can apply for our co-op program. Either one is fantastic. So new product development is our other type of grant. And this one's where I get really excited because my role is to work on a lot of these things. When we say new product development, think of new experiences. I think experiences is a really good word for what our visitors are going to see and do. So these are things that fill a gap in the community. So there's maybe some stuff that's missing that's not already happening. These are things that are going to enhance the visitor experience. I think we've got a really good example over here of adventure sports innovation, right? They're able to add a new tour, some water stuff. This is going to be a new experience for people. The seesaws are the really great example. This is a new product that you can do. And we are looking for, when we do these, any kind of data and feedback from your customers, that this is something that would be a really good, valuable ad. So if we go on to the next slide, one of the things we talked about with experiences in products is that they fill a gap, right? So we don't want to fund necessarily something that already exists and is already out there. We're looking for gaps to be filled. So you guys probably know a lot of those gaps. I personally have a few that I'd love to see activation and animation during the holidays, right? Not just the winter holidays, but also, you know, New Year's Eve, 4th of July, stuff like that. I think one of the ones that we hear a lot is things to do that aren't just downtown, right? Maybe that are farther out or in different areas. all sorts of different gaps exist. Stuff for one of the biggest ones we hear from our visitor center group is things that kids can do that they can actually like touch and be involved and create versus just watching someone else create. Things like that is stuff that our visitors are looking for. So,
Can I jump
Yeah,
in?
please do.
Allison, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So something else that we've heard, Allison mentioned from our visitor center, and we have people that actually stop by the visitor center and make phone calls and say, hey, what is there to do with children? So people aren't doing a lot of hands-on anymore, and the world is calling for that, especially with this virtual part of life that we're living now. But one of the other things that I want people to be very mindful of, we're missing a lot of festivals, big festivals, large scale festivals, music, culinary festivals, and things like that. That is a big gap. And we're also missing a lot of collaboration between like-minded groups or different groups. So if there's an opportunity for you all to partner with somebody, your grant is going to be even stronger. And also if you include reaching out to diverse audiences, especially primarily downtown, we don't see a lot of that. Think about a walking tour, or we have plenty of Chat Taste is a cool culinary tour, but what does it look like if we had a culinary festival? Or what does it look like if we had something downtown where it was like soul music or different cultures and things like that? So think outside the box, but most importantly, if you all have any questions along the way, feel free to ask those questions. And that's all we have. And Allison, did you have anything else to add there? Or
no, you said it best. Collaboration is really important. We want to see people working together, and any kind of data that you guys can do to talk about the impact of this is really helpful for us. And if you don't have a lot of that data, we recognize that, we understand that there might be some stuff that we have personally that we could help you with. So reach out to us if you want to schedule a one-on-one with us. We're happy to meet with you and talk with you about your grant and your idea for it.
And also, if you all are, there are a lot of creators that are on the call right now. And as long as you have a business license and have been in business 2 years for yourself, you are able to apply for this grant too. So there might be a cool mural that you would love to have, or there might be an opportunity for on a certain area in Chattanooga that you can do a weekly performance. Those are tangible things to enhance the visitor experience too. So there's nothing that's not too far out or that can't be creative enough, but reach out to us so we can have those conversations. As Allison said, my name is Donna L. Harrison. I know a lot of people call me Donna, but I like Donna L. Harrison. And then Allison Wolf. Both of us mine is Donna at Chattanooga Tourism .com, and then her name is Allison at ChattanoogaTourism.com. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Linda.
All right, thank you so much, ladies. What was that, Donna? It's Donna L.
I would say if anybody had any questions.
Yeah. Are there any questions for these two fabulous ladies? Y'all do an excellent tag team.
Also, I want to give them some flowers. Thanks to their pushing, man, I'm able to do a lot better this year. So I'm just saying I'm thankful for them. I try to give people flowers when I can.
Thank you, Manny. Manny, make sure you reach out to us as you're applying for your grant this year. We would love to talk to you before it closes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I know this grant's been an awesome opportunity for lots of our local folks who are have some great ideas and some great projects. So
I have a question. I'm not sure if this is a question. I think I'd like to have, it's a statement with a question on it. And I think this is one of these things that probably doesn't get said in forums like this, but I want to say it on behalf of other people who might be thinking it. It's a bit of a twist. First of all, you guys are fantastic. I'm so glad you're doing this. It's already made a big difference to Chattanooga Ballet last year and a bunch of other people. But this phrase, you must be able to do this without your money. That's something that immediately everybody in the 3 people who are in this room got up and left, because we'll talk to you about it one-on-one, but I want to say on behalf of a lot of smaller arts organizations, if we could do it without your money, we do it. So it's just, I feel the need to say you guys are fantastic, but when that's a sentence that probably deserves a little more conversation. Now, whether you want to do that publicly or just private, that's up to you, but I felt like I wanted to say that. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Well, thank you. That is, you're not the first person that's actually said that to us, John. So I appreciate you actually asking us to address that. This grant is not a charitable gift grant. This grant is to drive tourists to our area. There are several organizations, like we do have, I do want to say this, we do have our in-kind program. So for organizations that have the potential to grow their visitor economy, that's what we have for our the ones that need it the most in a more charitable way, and that have the potential to grow and reach out to more visitors. So I hate that they left the room, but with every organization, I can't reach out to the, and I always give this example, I can't ask for dollars for colon cancer from the Heart Association. So with this particular organization, this is primarily to bring new experiences to the area, and for us to do that by bringing in tourists. And if you want to have an outside conversation, or if anybody else would like to have one, please feel free to reach out to us, because that's what we're here for. So you all can apply for this grant and have new experiences. We won't be able to enhance those visitor experiences if people are asking, have the same ask every year. This is not a charitable grant, but we do have opportunities like the one-to-one match with our co-op program too, where we do invest in our arts and culture organizations. So I totally understand that.
Okay, well, it's not, let me just be clear. I'm not, other people on this call, I guarantee you, are not talking about charitable contributions. But when you say you want a new festival, well, we'd love to do a dance festival, but we have, how on earth could we prove that we could do this without this money? You know, I think maybe if you could just address how we might go about even thinking about that.
Right.
Could you do that?
So I know you've reached out to us before, and I think you all had done a dance festival in the park before, correct?
No, we're talking about a full-blown dance festival, bringing in people from Memphis and Nashville and Atlanta and things like that, like a festival. But
right.
It's very hard to conceive of how to address, yeah, we're able to do this without this funding, without doing the festival and understanding what kind of revenues might come out of that. So this sounds like we're drifting into a more specific conversation to us. So I'll leave that there. But again, I think that the concept probably people are going to have to wrestle with, which is, how do I address that issue? Thank you.
Yeah.
Allison, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, the one thing I would add is, if there's other sponsors and other partners, if there's program revenue coming in, if you're selling tickets, that kind of stuff would qualify for other support that we would like to see. So it's not necessarily I know a lot of grants have like, you have to match it 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 or whatever. It's not necessarily that. We're not going that far down into detail, but we do want to really not be the sole funder on something. We want this to be something that's additive and could continue on in following years, maybe without our support.
Right. Mm-hmm. Thank you for addressing that, John. We appreciate it.
Thank you for that input.
Yeah.
Any other questions for these great ladies? All right. Well, Donna, do y'all mind just putting your emails in the chat?
Yes.
And I threw those links in there that you mentioned earlier. So thank you again, ladies, for bringing us this information. This is a really great opportunity for our local creatives, and thank you for what you do to bring folks to Chattanooga so that everybody knows what a great city this is, and how creative and how rich our culture is here. While Donna's, thank you for that, Allison. So are there any other announcements that any of our friends who are guests today or participants today would like to share? I know there's lots going on in the city right now, and we'd love to hear events or deadlines that we need to know about. Okay. Oh, there's Linda.
Hey, Amy.
Hey, Linda.
I'll just mention Southern Lit Alliance is bringing back real live authors to town now. So we're really excited and have one coming up March the 24th, Michelle Stone, who's written books about an immigrant family, Tree. And so we just love to have people come out and show support for these authors being able to come back. It's free, so come enjoy. It's on our website.
Thanks, Linda. Any other announcements? I see lots of friends on here. Stoveworks, the ballet, Creative Discovery Museum. Okay. Well, if for some reason after we get off here and you remember something that you should have told us, feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my email once more in the chat. And we can always include your announcements in Artsfield's ArtsWire. As a reminder, that comes out every Thursday. So Miss Catherine Roth on the Artsfield staff does a great job with putting that together. So anytime if you've got anything that's coming up that you want to advertise, we're happy to put that out for you. And again, lots going on at Artsfield with nominations for the Arts Leadership Award. For our Hamilton County High School art competition. We've got 2 versions of Tech Goes Home coming up. The end of this month, we'll see our adults. And then at the end of May, we will work with our high school students or our high school artists. And then shared services with Colleen Miller. We'll have a workshop for that next Wednesday at 10:30 in the morning. So thanks, everybody. Thanks to River City Company, Chattanooga Tourism Co. For being present today and giving us such great information. So with that, I will give you a little bit of your time back. Enjoy your Friday. Bundle up for the weekend. Go jump on some seesaws if you can. And we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Amy, so much.
Yeah.